chasing destiny, you can't let it go. I had a dare to dream through the storm and rain, through the dark nights and the silent pain. Now every step feel like healing in me. Yeah. I had a dare to dream when the nights got cold. Heart full of pain, but my soul turned gold. They told me slow down, but I can't move slow. When you chasing destiny, you can't let it go. I had a dare to dream through the storm and rain, through the dark nights and the silent pain. Now every step feel like healing in me. Yeah. I had a dare to dream when the nights got cold. Heart full of pain, but my soul turned gold. They told me slow down, but I can't move slow. When you chasing destiny, you can't let it go. I had a dare to dream through the storm and rain, through the dark nights and the silent pain. Now every step feel like healing in me. Yeah. I had a dare to dream when the nights got cold. Heart full of pain, but my soul turned gold. They told me slow down, but I can't move slow. When you chasing destiny, you can't let it go. I had a dare to dream through the storm and rain, through the dark nights and the silent pain. Now every step feel like healing in me. Yeah. I had a dare to dream when the nights got cold. Heart full of pain, but my soul turned gold. They told me slow down, but I can't move slow. When you chasing destiny, you can't let it go. I had a dare to dream through the storm and rain, through the dark nights and the silent pain. Now every step feel like healing in me. Yeah. I had a dare to dream when the nights got cold. Heart full of pain, but my soul turned gold. They told me slow down, but I can't move slow. When you chasing destiny, you can't let it go. I had a dare to dream through the storm and rain, through the dark nights and the silent pain. Now every step feel like healing in me. Yeah. I had a dare to dream when the nights got cold. Heart full of pain, but my soul turned gold. They told me slow down, but I can't move slow. When you chasing destiny, you can't let it go. I had a dare to dream through the storm and rain, through the dark nights and the silent pain. Now every step feel like healing in me. Yeah. I had a dare to dream when the nights got cold. Heart full of pain, but my soul turned gold. They told me slow down, but I can't move slow. When you chasing destiny, you can't let it go. I had a dare to dream through the storm and rain, through the dark nights and the silent pain. Now every step feel like healing in me. Yeah. I had a dare to dream when the nights got cold. Heart full of pain, but my soul turned gold. They told me slow down, but I can't move slow. When you chasing destiny, you can't let it go. I had a dare to dream through the storm and rain, through the dark nights and the silent pain. Now every step feel like healing in me. Yeah. I had a dare to dream when the nights got cold. Heart full of pain, but my soul turned gold. They told me slow down, but I can't move slow. When you chasing destiny, you can't let it go. I had a dare to dream through the storm and rain, through the dark nights and the silent pain. Now every step feel like healing in me. Yeah. I had a dare to dream when the nights got cold. Heart full of pain, but my soul turned gold. They told me slow down, but I can't move slow. When you chasing destiny, you can't let it go. I had a dare to dream through the storm and rain, through the dark nights and the silent pain. Now every step feel like healing in me. Yeah. I had a dare to dream when the nights got cold. Heart Heart full of pain, but my soul turned gold. They told me slow down, but I can't move slow. When you chasing destiny, you can't let it go. I had to dare to dream through the storm and rain, through the dark nights and the silent pain. Now every step feel like healing in me. Yeah, I had to dare to dream when the nights got cold. Heart full of pain, but my soul turned gold. They told me slow down, but I can't move slow. When you chasing destiny, you can't let it go. I had to dare to dream through the storm and rain, through the dark nights and the silent pain. Now every step feel like healing in me. Yeah, I had to dare to dream when the nights got cold. Heart full of pain, but my soul turned gold. They told me slow down, but I can't move slow. When you chasing destiny, you can't let it go. I had to dare to dream through the storm and rain, through the dark nights and the silent pain. Now every step feel like healing in me. Yeah, I had to dare to dream when the nights got cold. Heart full of pain, but my soul turned gold. They told me slow down, but I can't move slow. When you chasing destiny, you can't let it go. I had to dare to dream through the storm and rain, through the dark nights and the silent pain. Now every step feel like healing in me. Yeah, I had to dare to dream when the nights got cold. Heart full of pain, but my soul turned gold. They told me slow down, but I can't move slow. When you chasing destiny, you can't let it go. I had to dare to dream through the storm and rain, through the dark nights and the silent pain. Now every step feel like healing in me. Yeah, I had to dare to dream when the nights got cold. Heart full of pain, but my soul turned gold. They told me slow down, but I can't move slow. When you chasing destiny, you can't let it go. I had to dare to dream through the storm and rain, through the dark nights and the silent pain. Now every step feel like healing in me. Yeah, I had to dare to dream when the nights got cold. Heart full of pain, but my soul turned gold. They told me slow down, but I can't move slow. When you chasing destiny, you can't let it go. I had to dare to dream through the storm and rain, through the dark nights and the silent pain. Now every step feel like healing in me. Yeah, I had to dare to dream when the nights got cold. Heart full of pain, but my soul turned gold. They told me slow down, but I can't move slow. When you chasing destiny, you can't let it go. I had to dare to dream through the storm and rain, through the dark nights and the silent pain.
What's good, everybody? Now, here is the update. So, for the month of May, my content will be different. It will be different. So, when I normally just watch reaction videos, I'm going to have topics that I speak about I'm going to have topics that I speak about. The reason why I made that move, because our cat got up onto the counter, had to get her off the counter. So I'm just waiting on certain things to come to me, money wise. I got food in the air fryer going. I chopped down I mowed the lawn on the right side of the house. And it's going to be a good time. So I'm not going to be doing no more reaction videos. I'm going to be doing straight content. The same content I do for my TikTok, I will bring it over to here. And I will take like my screenshots from my phone, bring them to my YouTube page, and I'm gonna go from doing verticals streams to doing horizontal, so people can see everything that I'm watching. So that's what I'll be doing. I'm still racing to 100,000 subscribers. If I get there, I get there. I'm still waiting for funds to come to me so I can be back outside working. So, gonna do what I can with what I'm given. You know what I'm saying? So with letting y'all know that I do got some videos I'm gonna be watching. So in May, so I'm gonna be reacting to things in this month. But in May, no more reaction videos. I'm going to be speaking on whatever I want to talk about. Something that goes on in battle rap. Something that goes on with anything that's going on in the news that nobody is focusing on, that needs to be focused on. So, be right back.
They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where.
So, alright. So, I know the content that I'm going to be making, a lot of people ain't going to rock with it. But that's something I don't really have a care for, because you want to know why? Because this is my channel. I'm going to talk about all of my hobbies, about the anime I watch, the games I play. So, because there's not that much content out here, because the same content is being regurgitated to us. Like, every person that I have watched on this channel, I'm watching the same people regurgitate the same thing. It's just the only thing that's changing is the face of the channel. That's it. Everybody out here talking about the same stuff. All the stuff I talked about on my TikTok, I don't see nobody talking about what I talk about on TikTok. So, like, for instance, this video that I'm about to watch. I'm trying to wait until my food get done.
Waving hand sign welcome in Jason Storm 419 first message of the stream fire.
Jason.
Waving hand sign welcome in Aft from Spacity first message of the stream fire.
Nobody, look, Jason, you can just leave. I have no problem speaking to myself. I don't have no problem speaking to myself. When I'm looking at this camera, I don't see if there's anybody in here. I'm not going to be sitting here being silent for nothing. If I don't give the camera any engagement.
Waving hand sign welcome into Cutsway Anima's first message of the stream fire.
What's good with you? Cause you know how many people come in and don't say nothing? Come in, come out, come in, come out. I appreciate you being new. Where you coming from? Where you coming from, man? Oh my goodness. Jeez. Oh brother, this guy stinks. This stuff is almost done. My food is almost done.
Waving hand sign welcome in night but first message of the stream fire.
Like I don't see the number of people that be in here. Like I got it set up like this because I'm not a person who. See, I'm different. I don't like comparing myself to people. I watch other streamers. I watch other YouTubers. But I just create content for free. That's what I need y'all to understand. I create content for free. Like, I just do this because I'm not able to be outside working. But once I'm... Oh, okay.
Waving hand sign welcome in Jamie.x5 first message of the stream fire.
Oh, okay. You from Zimbabwe? Wait, hey, Tack, how old are you? Cause I don't like kids being in the stream. Even though I don't use profanity, I don't say bad words. It's like I have my mind, like I just don't want to have children or kids in the stream. You know what I'm saying? But I do appreciate you being here. I appreciate everybody that's in here. You see, I'm looking at my phone and it says I got 10 people in here, but they ain't talking. So something ain't adding up. It says I got 10 people in here, then it went down to 3. You see? So it's like, I think it's because my energy is too positive. That might be the reason on why people don't really rock with the vibe. People don't really rock with the aura I give off. So yeah. I'm about to be there getting some sour cream. Alright. So breath of fresh air. I already let my contracts know that I will keep them updated on when I will be returning back. You feel me? So this first video is 30 minutes of lawyers, engineers, and nurses exposing their paycheck. It's not what you think. So before I get into this video, I remember back in the day that there was a time when they would tell you to not let nobody know how much you make at your job, your place of work. That is why I never really speak on how much I make. I never tell people if I get paid by the hour, by whatever. But let's get into it, shall we? Let's get into it. Let's see what's going on, Fahim. I put the website in. So let's get to it.
I make almost $200,000 a year as a lawyer, and I drive a used 14-year-old vehicle. Here's why.
My lawyer paycheck has dropped again, so let's budget for the month of November together.
One of the things that really manifests online is how much people make at their jobs. And sometimes it's really easy when you...
Now, the first lady says she made over $200,000 a year. You should not be in the red if you are making that much. If you're making over 6 figures, you should not be in the red. If you work in an engineering job, you should not be in the red. And then it says, when you see all these 22-year-olds online right now out of college, like, stop comparing yourself to people. But
see all of these 22-year-olds right out of college that are like, I landed a 6-figure job right out of school. This is how I did it. This is how much I made at my first full-time engineering job and how much they originally wanted to pay me.
I just got paid, so let's budget my paycheck as a 22-year-old software engineer living in the Bay Area.
Let's talk pay transparency. 4 years as a nurse.
They spend $100 upon $100 on their self-care when they not a lawyer, they not an attorney. You not out there bailing people out of jail. Now it's your girl. So why you spending all that money? Why you spending all that money?
I make almost $200,000 a year as a lawyer, and I drive a used 14-year-old vehicle. Here's why. I was able to buy my car in cash, and I chose to do so rather than taking out a loan on a newer vehicle because cars go down in value really fast.
okay, so if you are making $200,000 a year, you can pay cash for a car. You can pay cash. I'm not saying go all out, but you can get a reasonable vehicle between $25,000 to $40,000. You can get a reasonable car. You ain't gotta get the luxury 6-figure joint, but I'm just saying, you can pay cash for a car between $25,000 to $40,000. You can go get Toyota, Camry, Honda Civic, Honda Accord, Toyota Corolla, cash. Because with dealerships, they hate when people buy cars cash because they can't make money off those. That's why they want you to finance this and that.
Even if you get a decent interest rate on a vehicle loan, the vehicle is going down in value so fast that sometimes people end up owing more on a vehicle than it's worth. This is something you want to avoid at all costs. So if you're able to buy an older, reliable, used vehicle in cash rather than taking out a loan on a new or newer vehicle.
It's illegal to drive without car insurance in almost every U.S. state, but there's one thing you could try pretty much any time if you want to save.
Do it.
And I just want to point.
But look, she makes $200,000 a year. She's able to purchase a car off the lot, cash. She makes $200,000 a year. This is what she said. She can get a car cash. She can get the car. She can go get the certified pre-owned vehicle. that are between 25 to 30,000. You ain't gotta get nothing that's upper echelon, but that's all I gotta say.
This out to show you that having a good salary, having a wonderful career does not mean that you have the leeway to splurge. What you have to realize is
Waving
how
hand
most people
sign
got
welcome in
rich,
Burberry
got
drip
wealthy,
first message of the stream
accumulated
file.
their good fortune is by way of.
I've been good, Burberry. Just waiting on the money to come. It's not a lot. It's some that can get me into some to take care of what I need to take care of. I've already written down where the money's gonna go to, this and that. So that's where my head is at. So I'm already at the finish line. It's something to get me into something. I'm not gonna get nothing new, certified pre-owned. So yeah, that's where my head's at.
Being frugal by way of saving money and investing and making proper and sound financial decisions. And I guarantee you this kind of long-term, forward-thinking mindset is what allowed her to make that $200K salary, especially going through something as difficult as law school. And she's absolutely correct as far as car depreciation is concerned. When it comes to cars, they depreciate so quickly, especially when you're talking about some of these luxurious cars, go down in value so fast just over the first 3 years of owning it. This is why it's very important that you do your due diligence to get a reliable vehicle first, such that you have that stable foundation to fall back on. Because when it comes to those luxurious vehicles, those very expensive vehicles, Lord knows you're going to be paying an arm, a leg, and guess what? A kidney stone on some maintenance if it's ever required.
My lawyer paycheck has dropped again, so let's budget for the month of November together. This is the third time I'm doing this, and I did do a video a few days ago on what I pay for my pension, student loans, salary sacrifices that gets taken out before I've even seen my salary. So this is all everything that I pay in the amounts out of my paycheck after I've received my salary. That makes sense. So I did actually grow up with not a lot of money, and budgeting and finances was nothing I could ever talk about. So the fact that I can talk about it now more openly and honestly really does help me. Now I'm much better with finances. Can't lie, I'm still a bit of a reckless spender, and I am trying to get better. So there's that. So about £150 is going on bills such as for my gym, my phone insurance, Spotify, and other apps that I use for my social media, like editing apps and stuff like that, and storage, because storage is always running out. £277 is going towards my car, and that covers things like my car payment, and I'm due to pay that off in December, and I honestly cannot wait. So this is my penultimate car payment, and that also covers my car insurance and my car tax as well. I budgeted a lot this month for food and drink because I'm hosting a Halloween party on Saturday, so I've put £300 towards that. £100 is going on travel, including trains and fuel, and that's a lot less than I normally do, but that's because my partner keeps topping up my car. I don't know why, but I'm not going to tell him no. £1,000 is going towards Australia, and that's the last paycheck that I have before I go, and then I do get paid whilst I'm out there, but I'm trying not to think about that. So this is my last pay before I go, and it's quite scary. £1,000 is a lot of money, but I'm really just putting as much as I can towards Australia so we can have like the best trip, because we're going for 2 and a bit weeks. So about £185 went on beauty and shopping this month, including things like my nails, my eyelashes, and skincare. That is a lot to spend on nails and eyelashes, but I'm making sure that everything's topped up before I go to Australia, and I know that's a complete luxury and a complete privilege to do. So for our house, we pay £350 for bills because we do have an arc oven which rinses gas, and our house is 4 bedrooms, so the council tax is higher, especially because it's in a more expensive area. We don't own this house, we do rent from family. So when we complete on a house that we've bought, hopefully very soon, then the bills will go down a bit because the house isn't as large and it won't have a very expensive oven that is on 24/7. I did put a few £100s in savings, and then the rest went on rent. We do rent from family, as I say, so I'm not going to share the exact amount that I spent on rent because I don't know if they want me to discuss that, but I will be explaining and discussing everything that my mortgage costs once I'm in my new house. I also do plan to start investing in the new year, as well as upping my pension, which I spoke about in my last video, because I really do want to make sure that I'm investing my money wisely. It's just growing up with no money, I'm not really taught about anything like that, but I am educating myself on that, so I really hope to be able to do that soon.
Dance 2.0 is now on Artlist, and you can get precisely what you want.
I'll take a robbery.
And I just wanted to showcase this to go and show you that even though I know she is talking about British pounds, she still is spending far more frugally than many of the other people we've watched in many other videos. I mean, I've watched videos of people spending $1,000 here, $1,000 there. They spend $100 upon $100 on their self-care when they not a lawyer, they not an attorney, you not out there bailing people out of jail. Now, it's your girl, so why you spending all that money? Why you spending all that money? But this should put in perspective how you should spend your money. Because when you see a lady like this, or you will see a gentleman similar to this, if they are spending frugally and they're making so much more than you, if she is deciding to get a much smaller abode, a much smaller house, even though she probably has the money to afford a much grander one, then what do you look like getting something that is massive and almighty when you know good and well you can't afford it?
One of the biggest misconceptions that I think people have about law students or lawyers is they have this misnomer in terms of what they think lawyers make. Lawyers make a variety of different salaries, both based on whether they do litigation or transactional work, whether they're plaintiff side, whether they're defense side, and dependent on the state they're at and the size of the firm or single practice that they're at. For example, when I first got out of law school, the very first job that I worked for as a lawyer, I only made $40,000 a year. Now, that was 10 years ago. However, $40,000 is lower than minimum wage now in California, and I'm pretty sure it was pretty close to minimum wage at the time. So in terms of tiers, I want to break out some of the different tiers. I would say the people that make the most amount of money are either working plaintiff side and doing what I'll call ambulance chasing work, but it's medical malpractice, etc., with really big class action payouts. The people that are making the next under that are working at an AM 100 firm.
Now, this is very interesting to see. It's very insightful to know that in different occupations you could expect different amounts of salaries, and that you shouldn't just expect an extremely large salary because of the title that you hold. Of course, in general, certain types of degrees and certain types of fields, you are more likely to make a greater income, but that does not mean that specifically in the position that you hold in that field, you will make said income. It's all contingent upon the kind of position that you hold, in this case, the type of lawyer that you are. It's also contingent upon whether or not you're first starting out, or if you're working at a big firm or a small firm. All of these things play a large role in terms of how much you'll be getting paid. And so as far as this YouTube channel is concerned, please be aware that regardless of the occupation that you are looking to get into, make sure that you are studious in regards to what kind of salaries that you could expect given your position.
Openly share your salary with a colleague or a stranger on the street?
Oh my goodness, yes. I think it's important that you do, so you can let your people know in the office.
So what do you do?
I actually work for the city of New York. I'm a legislative attorney, intergovernmental affairs.
Do you like what you do?
I love what I do. We're in a bit of chaotic times right now, but it's like for the people of New York City, so.
How much do you make?
Oh my goodness, how much do I make right now? I just got a new job. So thank you, Pay Transparency. I think I'm making $115,000. Yeah, no, thank you. But I work for the city, so you can see everyone's pay scale online.
Now, again, this is all contingent upon where she works and how she gets that job done. So again, her salary is completely contingent upon the type of lawyer that she is and where she even works. We can compare that salary as a legislative attorney to how much you'll probably make as a patent attorney or medical malpractice attorney or a corporate attorney. All of these different kinds of attorneys make different amounts of money. So please do not be led astray thinking that you're going to be just making big bucks simply because you're a lawyer. You hear me? You got to get into the nitty gritty details about what kind of position, what kind of lawyer, what kind of attorney you are as a lawyer, and that will oftentimes lead you to understanding how much you will potentially get paid. And I would like to note that $115,000 in New York is extremely low as an attorney. I'm not, putting on the $115,000 as a whole, because I know people out here struggling and striving, people out here, people getting laid off and carrying on. But we have to consider that in the city of New York, which is one of the most expensive places to live in the United States, $115,000, especially if you're single, may not take you too far. And when you're thinking about a lawyer, you would think that they'd probably be making more, considering the city, considering the title, considering the status, but that isn't always the case. But we also have to note that she does work for New York City. And with government jobs, while the pay tends to be a wincy bit less, you oftentimes compensate for that with the benefits that you receive and also your pension.
One of the things that really manifests online is how much people make at their jobs. And sometimes it's really easy when you see all of these 22-year-olds right out of college that are like, I landed a 6-figure job right out of school. This is how I did it. And it's like, okay, that's awesome for you. Love that for you. That's not most people's reality. This is how much I made at my first full-time engineering job and how much they originally wanted to pay me at my first full-time engineering job. And this was in 2022 going into 2023. So recently, but not like, yesterday. So I interned at the company that I got this job offer from. I interned with them all summer, and I also worked with them all fall. I graduated in December. So my last semester, I worked like 10 to 15 hours a week for this company. And their original offer for me to go to a full-time position at their company, they wanted to pay me $27 an hour in Maryland. And that felt a little bit low to me because I was like, hey, I've been working here since April now. Like, you don't have to train me from the beginning. Like, I'm already basically doing what your junior engineers are doing. So they eventually budged and went up to $30 an hour. And that was what I was making as an intern. I made $20 an hour at that company. If you do the math, that comes out to about like $60-some thousand a year. And don't get me wrong, like that was a blessing. Like you can pay your rent, you can pay your bills on that. You can have enough money to go out after. Like that's no chump change. That's a lot of money objectively. That is more than a new car costs in this year, 2025. That could be maybe 2 new cars. I just think sometimes it's very easy to like forget that most people are not making 6 figures right out of college. Most people will never make.
Because look, y'all need to understand. That lady says that she makes around $62,000. She could purchase 2 new cars off the lot. Certified pre-owned. Make sure the vehicles are under 100,000 miles. Make sure that you take it to your mechanic to get it checked out. But yes, you can live off $62,000. You can live off that. And how you do it is you don't live above your means. Live below them. Live frugal. Do coupons. Get discounts.
Make 6 figures by themselves. Hopefully this brings you back to earth a little bit. I also went to a huge state school that had a big engineering program and a huge computer science program. So of course I had many friends who made 6 figures right out the bat. But usually if you're making 6 figures right out the door, there is a reason for it. It's either the cost of living adjustment or they're going to work you very hard. There's not always a lot of middle ground where they're like, oh, let's give this 22-year-old that has barely any real working experience like this high-ass position. Like, it's very difficult to get that right out of the bat.
Okay, so there's some nuance to this conversation, but since we having it, let's have it. When it comes to you going to university, when it comes to you going to college, I can't stress enough how important it is for you to be looking for internships straight out the gate, for you to be looking for job opportunities immediately, especially in your first few years, because oftentimes people aren't looking that early and you're able to get the drop on others. In addition to that, as somebody who has an engineering degree, as somebody who has gone through school for engineering, I can tell you up front that usually people will make a little bit more than $60K coming straight out the gate, even in 2026 when we know the job market is doing very deplorable. And even though I agree with her to an extent about gratefulness, one thing that I would like to mention is you should never want to lowball yourself and mask it out of gratefulness, out of the feeling that things could always be worse. That is a highway to being taken advantage of by people who wish you no good. And the last thing that you want to do is to be engaged in a job, getting paid $20, $30, $40, $60,000 less, doing the same work that you could be getting paid more for simply because you are content at the position you're currently in. You feel me?
So like, how much do you make? This is one of the most frequently asked questions that I get on all my videos, and I'm going to be sharing all the tea depending on what type of engineering you actually want to get to and how much engineers realistically make. Starting with electrical engineering, which is actually what I did. So electrical engineers can make around 75 to 120K depending on experience and also the type of work that you're doing. And I can confirm that's true. I don't know what's going on right now, but a lot of you actually have the misconception that you should be making six figures upon graduation, which is not realistic. If you're one of those people that managed to bag 100K in engineering, like after you graduate, good for you, but a lot of people are starting at 75K realistically. Next up is software engineers. These could be making from 100K to $160,000. I would say this is probably the highest paid engineering field because a lot of people work at these big tech companies and they pay a lot. Then we have civil engineers. They make around $70,000 to $100,000 each year. I'm sure you can already gather like the typical range for engineers and how much you could be making. So a lot of engineers that I know and like personally, this is pretty much the range that we're looking at whenever it comes to actual pay, and that is not including bonuses. This doesn't also include your 401k. It doesn't include the shares that you have at your company. So a lot of engineers are making really good money. And if you want me to make a series out of this, let me know so that we can have some transparency going on here and you know exactly what you're getting yourself into.
And this is something that I could speak on from personal experience. Upon graduating as an engineer, one thing that I did note was that there were many people that came out with six-figure offers. What really matters is the work that you put in while you're in school. If you decide to dedicate yourself to your craft, then you'll have a greater likelihood of being able to bag one of those offers. If you don't, then you won't. It's really quite simple. What I found was most of the people that came out with that six-figure offer were making sure they were putting their foot to the pedal as far as getting opportunities, as far as making connections, as far as making sure that they were getting in touch with the proper people in order to showcase their skills. And that's something that is necessary if you want to excel in any career.
Here is my salary progression as a 24-year-old engineer. My first real job, I was making $17 per hour as an intern at a startup. But then when I graduated in 2023, I got a job offer paying $82K per year, but I was able to negotiate that up to $98K plus a $5K sign-on bonus. This place was very high cost of living area though, so I ended up moving somewhere a little cheaper and was making $94.5K per year. After about a year, I got a promotion and was making $106,700 per year. And then I left that job last year for a job making $122K per year now.
And this is the kind of salary progression that you could expect as an engineer, especially if you're job hopping and moving around. I'd say that nowadays in 2026, moving around is what will get you a higher pay, especially in contrary to what it was in the past, where it was all about job security and being at one company for 10, 15, 20 years. But I digress. Overall, I think all of this information is very important to know as far as being in higher paying fields. That can make you a very generous amount of money.
I just got paid, so let's budget my paycheck as a 22-year-old software engineer living in the Bay Area. After taxes and 401k contributions, I'm left with $3,368.70 for my bi-weekly take-home pay. I paid $1,000 for my auto loan, which is a lot higher than the monthly payment, but I want to pay it off as fast as possible. I live at home, so I paid $700 to my family as my monthly rent. I also send my mom $500 each month to help her with her.
Why is he paying rent? Hold
up. And 70 cents for my bi-weekly take-home pay. I paid $1,000 for my auto loan, which is a lot higher than the monthly payment, but I want to pay it off as fast as possible. I live at home, so I paid $700 to my...
Hold up, bro. Wait a minute. He 22. I would not charge our son rent to live in the house. I wouldn't charge our kids no rent to live in the house. Like, what?
My family as my monthly rent. I also send my mom $500 each month to help her with her groceries and taking care of my little brother's daily needs. I then budget $400 each paycheck that goes into my travel bank account, where I pull money from whenever I need to book a trip. For my food and drink, I set aside $200. For my personal expenses like shopping and other miscellaneous items, I put aside another $200. I then send the rest of my paycheck off to a high yield savings account, which I do not touch unless in case of emergency. And that's my paycheck. Follow along to see what I do with my next one.
Now, wait, this is something that we need to talk about. Just because you're an engineer, just because you're a doctor, a lawyer, etc., does not give you an excuse to get a BMW straight out of college. A Beamer? Really? A Beamer? Now, I do actually take that back for doctors. I'm not going to lie. Going to school for 12 years and coming out making $200K, you may want to get yourself a little gift. I'm not going to lie to you. But let's continue. Given that he already has the vehicle, it is best that he tries his best to pay it off on time, unless he is looking to give it away and get something far more affordable. $700 in rent is amazing. I'm pretty sure, especially in the Bay Area, he probably has some roommates that he is sharing his living space with. Sending $500 to his mom, that may be necessary. We don't know his exact background, but I do think that that is relatable for many people. And then he also has money put away for traveling, food, and different personal necessities or wants that he may desire. All of this...
Okay, look. Now, I'm about to go back to what the kid in California, he said he's paying his parents. Let's go back.
For my auto loan, which is a lot higher than the monthly payment, but I want to pay it off as fast as possible. I live at home, so I paid $700 to my family as my monthly rent.
See? He said, I live at home. He doesn't have roommates. He lives at home paying his family $700. You charging your kid? I'm not charging my kid no $700.
I live at home, so I paid $700 to my family as my monthly rent. I also send my mom $500 each month to help her with her groceries and taking care of my little brother's daily needs. I then budget $400 each paycheck that goes into my travel bank account where I pull money from whenever I need to book a trip. For my food and drink, I set aside $200. For my personal expenses like shopping and other miscellaneous items, I put aside another $200. I then send the rest of my paycheck off to a high-yield savings account, which I do not touch unless in case of emergency. And that's my paycheck. Follow along to see what I do with my next one.
Now, wait. This is something that we need to talk about. Just because you're an engineer, just because you're a doctor, a lawyer, etc., does not give you an excuse to get a BMW straight out of college. A Beamer? Really? A Beamer? Now, I do actually take that back for doctors. I'm not going to lie. Going to school for 12 years and coming out making $200K, you may want to get yourself a little gift. I'm not going to lie to you. But let's continue. Given that he already has the vehicle, it is best that he tries his best to pay it off on time unless he is looking to give it away and get something far more affordable. $700 in rent is amazing. I'm pretty sure, especially in the Bay Area, he probably has some roommates that he is sharing his living space with. Sending $500 to his mom, that may be necessary. We don't know his exact background, but I do think that that is relatable for many people. And then he also has money put away for traveling, food, and different personal necessities or wants that he may desire. All of this is good in moderation, but what I would absolutely recommend is that he prioritize investing. You should want to make sure that you're putting as much money away in an investment account, especially while you're young, such that you can have compounded interest working for you in your future. And as far as that $1,000 car note, and as far as that $1,000 he put towards his auto loan, that's exactly where the money should be going. An investment account. That way you have money waiting and growing for you. That way you have money growing for you while you're sleeping.
So I'm a nurse, and I'm going to tell you guys exactly how much I get paid down to the dollar, but I also want you guys to comment down below if you're a nurse, just what specialty you work in, how much you get paid, because there's not a lot of salary transparency among nurses. It's just, yeah, I get paid around 60 to 80,000. No, I want to know exactly how much per hour you make, because we're nurses. We should be able to share this and also, get higher wages. There is just so much.
See, look, I am not sharing. I'm not going to share what I make from what I do. That's dumb. That's one thing I'm not going to do. It's like, I will tell people what I do to make money, but I'm not going to go to the links of telling you what I make for each contract I have. Because I have contracts that pay me differently. And I can work them at the same time. I'm just gonna say that.
Misinformation among nursing students, because I'll hear them say, oh, when I graduate, I'm going to start out making $100,000. And I'm just like, who told you that? Don't listen to that. Unless you're living in California or New York City where the cost of living is through the roof, sure. But for the rest of us nurses, most of my friends are making the same what I'm making. For me, I'm a pediatric nurse and I make $34 an hour. And if I ever made over 6 figures, I will be so happy, but it's just never going to happen for me. At least for another 10 years. So I just want you guys to share down below what you guys make, just so we can get a real look into what nurses make.
And so this is why it's important to have transparency upon the different fields that you exist in and upon the different industries that you may be interested in. Because a lot of people online will just try to brag and boast about their ginormous salary and their crazy lifestyles. But nobody wants to actually talk about the day-to-day mundane life that it is to work your average job, even in one of these fields. One thing that you have to note is that these algorithms that you watch many of these salary breakdowns on and many of these exposés on, they usually highlight those that are making tons of money because that's what people want to see. They want to see those that are driving the nice cars, wearing the best bags and clothes and whatnot. So usually the algorithm is going to compress those making a minimal amount or even your average amount. And so don't feel bad when you're watching these videos. Don't feel that you're missing out, because that's why this YouTube channel exists, in part to give transparency and a bit of clearance to those who may feel that they aren't where they're supposed to be.
You, just you, building your app on Base 44.
I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. You're not gonna be making what you think you're gonna be making as a new grad, okay? When I started out 5 years ago as a new grad, I was making $24 an hour. Weird. And I put in an application here in Florida just to see like what they're staffing, what they were offering. $36.50. $36.50. $36.50 to live in this economy? A recruiter reached out to me for a travel position in Nashville a couple months ago. Base pay $17. $17. And I think the weekly.
Alright, I'm gonna say this. Let me bring y'all back to reality. Every state, the money is different. The pay is different. In every state, the pay is not the same. I came from Hot Springs, Arkansas. They are still in the Stone Ages with pay. Moved up to Louisville, Kentucky, my pay range, like the area that I'm in or what I do, my pay range is different. My pay range is different. It's like, y'all need to understand, you could be a nurse in so many different states. Every state, y'all might do the same exact thing, but it, like, y'all gotta understand, it's based on the location. It's based on the location. Like, with the amount that people pay month to month for rent is based on location. You can find a home. We live in a 2-bedroom, 1 bath. But I pay in rent is cheaper than other people that pay rent for the same exact thing. Like, we got these new apartments getting built up the, like, down the street, around the corner from here, and they build new houses over here all the time, because I live right next to the highway. And it's like, some people just don't be understanding that's what I'm saying, Burberry. That's what I'm saying. It's like, some people making $24 an hour. You go to another state, they making almost $40 an hour. So I left Hot Springs, Arkansas at 13 years old. I have been an entrepreneur all my life. All my life. And the reason why I can tell you the difference is because when I do DoorDash, I make more money than the other people that do DoorDash in Kentucky. Because I never tell people the location of where I go. I never tell people the times I'm doing delivery. I don't tell people none of that information, because then they will chime in on the money that I make. Cause I'm not a cherry picker. This, that, and the other. Like, I could do DoorDash in any state. So let's say once I get back to doing medical courier work, I can do DoorDash for I can do DoorDash 5 hours and make $200 like that. 5 hours. I've done it. I can show and prove. I already showed the number. Of how many deliveries I've done. Let me bring it up. All right, so these are my actual numbers on DoorDash. These are my actual numbers. $6,557 deliveries. Lifetime deliveries. So, like, people need to understand that based on the location. Like, if you work in California, you better pick the right thing that you want to do, because living in California, you can't sleep. There's no time to sleep. Rent is due. There's no time to lay down, no time to close your eyes. But if you making over 6 figures, you should be able to sustain yourself. Don't live above your means. I live below my means. But hey, what can I say? What can I say?
Pay for that whole entire contract before taxes came out was already $1,600 a week. I'd rather go bartend than go pick up a 4th or 5th shift in the hospital at this point. I'm kind of interested to see where you're at and like what you're making as staff or even a travel position. I'm not an adult nurse.
And so for those that don't know, sometimes it takes time to get into that bag. And so please don't go around thinking that everybody is going to be out here making, 6 figures, 8 figures, 10 figures, 1,000 figures coming out of school just because you watch some doggone TikTok or Instagram video of some mug flying to Dubai. It don't work that way. It don't work that way. You have to be considerate of where these people come from, of where they are living, of the kind of you have to be considerate of where these people are living, whether or not they have roommates, whether or not they're in a high cost of living state. All of these kinds of things play a significant role into how much you're going to get paid. And so, as they always say, comparison can, not always, but can be the thief of joy. And if you constantly go around comparing yourself to other people and what they're making, then you'll never actually feel that you are in a good place. All you should actually be concerned with is what kind of effort that you're putting in to get that new role, to get that new job, to get that new position, and make sure that you stay steady on your path. Because what somebody else got going on ain't got nothing to do with you. And so long as you stay straight on the path that you want to go down, things should go in your favor.
Let's talk pay transparency. 4 years as a nurse. So many people tend to think that nurses make so much money, and it really depends on what you do. I'm gonna let y'all know what I got paid over the past 4 years as a nurse doing different jobs. Starting off strong as a staff nurse, I made a whopping $24.50.
$24.50. All right. So that's what she started off with. Staff nurse. Staff nurse. Got it. Got you. I got you. See, look, this is gonna beat the. This is gonna take the cake. This is gonna take the cake. So you go here. All right. So you go here. 2450. I don't know what state. I don't know what state she in, but I looked up staff nurse where I live. Now, staff nurses in Louisville, Kentucky earn an average annual salary approximately $77,000 to $86,000, with hourly wages often ranging between $37 and $41. It's off of the location of where you at. When I left my hometown, I could make no money there. When I moved, I make all the money in the world. All the money. So, it's crazy.
As a staff nurse. Yeah, not very much at all. And after a year of working that staff position, I got a raise. Drum roll, please. Guess how much it was? 11 cents. Yeah. I knew it was time. I was like, I gotta leave. I gotta go make some money somewhere. This was kind of the peak of COVID, so I decided to follow my dream. This has been my dream since I was little, to be a travel pediatric nurse. So that's what I did. Guess what I made on my first job as a travel nurse? So my first travel nurse assignment, I made $4,800 a week.
$4,800 a week. $4,800 a week. See, so that's good. That's good numbers. Those are good numbers.
Most of that being untaxed because you get a tax-free stipend every week. But when I tell you this was insane to me, I eventually took 4 months off just because I had made so much money extending at that contract. My third job was being a travel nurse, and I was making $4,100 a week. Freaking crazy. Only did one assignment there, and I'm super sad about it because that was also so much money. I took some time off. I think I took like 3 months off. And this was summertime, but I really wanted to work because I do love my job. I was making $2,700 a week. So it's still pretty good. It's not as much as the other ones, but in the summer, contracts tend to be down. And then on my fourth travel nurse contract, I was making around $3,100 a week. and I extended a few times. So yeah, I went from making $24.50 an hour to making travel nurse pay. So yes, I make a lot as a travel nurse, but if I went back home and was a staff nurse, I would not be making a lot of money. Like, I recently came back home, I'm taking a few months off, and I really wanted to get a PRN job because, like I said, I love my job. I love working. I love my little kiddos. I was like, let me just get a PRN job and see how much they're paying, you know. They first offered me $29 an hour. Not used to that. But it's not about the money. Just giving y'all a little ballpark of what nurses make depending on what you do. Let me know if y'all have any questions.
That girl got used to that $4,000 a week salary. Not didn't she? But again, this is why we're here, to have these kinds of conversations, to have this level of transparency. You see, the kinds of positions that you work with in your field absolutely matter. Just because you're a nurse doesn't mean you'll get paid a bunch. Just because you have that title doesn't mean that you should expect a certain amount. What you really should be focused on is the position that you are within, given the field that you're in. So if you are an engineer, what kind of engineer are you? Are you a software engineer? Are you an electrical engineer? Are you a systems engineer? If you are a nurse, what kind of nurse are you? If you are a lawyer, what kind of lawyer are you? These kinds of indicators will give you a far greater estimate of how much money you should be making. But what do you guys think about the video? I just wanted to have a discussion about some of the higher paying careers out there and how everything isn't always as it seems. There's even variability amongst the different high paying careers that exist in these industries, and you
Because look, there's like other things you could do to make more money. Like what I do. When I tell people that I'm a medical courier, like my lawyer thought that I was an employee, I tell them no. And they would try to tell me what an independent contractor was. And then I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, I don't have to answer to nobody when I'm working. I can work as long as I want to. I tell myself when to go on break. I tell myself I can do everything freely. This is where I start work every day. When I'm like doing medical work or doing the gig apps, I'll start from here, from the house, making stupid money. Stupid money. Let's go to the next episode.
You have to be aware of them if you want to make sure that you're getting the best bang for your buck, so to speak. But thank you for tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you would like to see more, and I will see you in the next one. Deuces.
Every certified used Hyundai is backed by a rigorous and extensive 173-point inspection. Actually, make that 174 points.
I finally know what my problem is, and
All right. All right, this one right here that we're about to watch is titled, How is Anyone Surviving in This Economy? So, I'll let you know how I'm surviving in this economy. I'll let you know how I'm surviving. Well, So I don't tell people how many contracts I have. I don't tell people the ins and outs of what I do. Because why? Because the more they know about you, and it's like I'm a free bird. I'm a free spirit. I got nothing that holds me back. You know how peaceful it is to just be in the house and so when I get back to officially working, I got to play a game called Catch Up. I got to play a game called Catch Up. So all the money that I missed out on November, December, January, February, March, April, like we're in April. I'm gonna have to put belt to some serious. I'm gonna have to put belt to some serious because when I get back to officially working, no games will be played. No games will be played. No games will be played. Because I'm about to go all in. I might have to fish for another contract. You feel me? Might have to go fishing for another contract. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the best part being an independent contractor. I can do as many contracts as I please and work them as I want. So I already told the contracts that I already have that I'll keep them updated when I will be back. And then once I'm back, it's over. I'm locked in. So let's get to it.
I think my mind is still stuck in 2020, even though it's 2026 when it comes to these prices. Like when it comes to rent and how much people are paying every month for a car payment. Like I saw a video recently where they said they were at a car dealership and the salesman, they was like, how much are people paying for the average car? And he said about like $750, like in the 700 range. And to me, that is crazy. Now, mind you, I did pay off both of my cars. It's been at least 1 or 2 years now for both of these cars. So I don't have a car payment. But I've had 2 Benzes, and both of my Benzes, one of them I leased, and I think I paid like $450 a month. This is back in like 2017. And then the second one was $580 a month. I cannot believe people are paying $780, $750 for a car that's not even a luxury car, y'all. Like the rent prices, even I just left Chuck E. Cheese and literally for an hour of play is $33. What's going on?
Okay, I'm on a tangent this morning, so like, let's go. How are we affording life? Like, how are we lifing right now? Because I just paid $5 for a fucking one biscuit. What the fuck? What in the actual fuck is happening? Like, are we selling titty pictures? Are we selling feet pictures? Are we farting in a jar and selling that? Because at this point, like, I'm down for what the fuck ever. Like, I'm gonna bitch about it and I'm still gonna buy it, but like, what the fuck? Like, Me and my husband make really good money, but like, this is wild. Like, I can't imagine any single parents doing it in today's world. I literally can't. I was raised by a single mom, and I watched. Now that I'm older, I know I noticed the struggles. I didn't notice them then, which that is great that I never noticed that. But how the fuck are you guys doing it? Because, like, what the fuck? I have 2 incomes in my household, and, like, that's wild. Wild. I feel for everybody that is a single parent, that's one income. Like, it blows my fucking mind how they expect us to be able to afford this. Like, our kids are so fucked if they don't have something being passed down to them. Literally, like, literally, our generation, we should have bought a fucking house in kindergarten.
I asked more than 1,200 Americans aged 70 and older this question. What are the most important lessons you've learned over the course of your life? Their answers may change your life.
How is anyone surviving in this economy is the question a lot of people are wondering. And the reality is a lot of people are struggling. Sure, they might look good on the surface when you step outside.
Look, you know how many people wonder how I'm surviving? You know how many people wonder why I'm not working? You know how many people are wondering how this house looks so nice inside? It looks so homey. That's one of the main reasons why I don't be telling people. I don't tell people what I do for work. I don't tell people how much I make at work. I don't let nobody know how many contracts I have. I let nobody know how many checks, how many settlements I get, because I don't get paychecks. I get settlements. I don't never tell people that I don't only just do medical courier, I also do my gig work, which DoorDash, Spark Driver. I'm just saying. I don't be mouthing this stuff off, because when I was working my 9 to 5 last year, there was hate coming from even telling them that I was doing these things. It's like, it felt like there was a reason why I got let go. It's like the way I got let go was very strange. And it's like, I saw the same people who are still working there, and the thing that I did to get fired, they are still doing. It's insane. Insane. It's insane work. But hey, what can I say?
Everything looks normal, but deep down, everyone is in the same place. They're struggling just like you are. And in this high cost of living environment, we really have to have a strong mindset. It's actually becoming quite normal to struggle, live paycheck to paycheck, just because we've been living like this for many years since the pandemic. Prices have not...
Listen. Everybody in the world is not living the same life. Everybody in the world is not experiencing struggle. Everybody in every state, they are experiencing life differently. When I step out and they see, and I'm cutting the grass, this, that, and the other, I see people living above their means. I see people in vehicles that they could get like a bigger house, but they choose to live in this location. Because I live right next to the highway. And I be so confused. Like, that's why you can never compare to people, because there are people who live in different states. You might live in Texas, Florida, New York, Rhode Island, New Jersey, Tennessee, Wyoming, North Carolina. Every state is paying people differently. You might go work in one state. No, let me say this. You go, let's say, if I was back in Hot Springs, I wouldn't be making no money. There's no money down there. They are still like minimum wage. For me, I'm not experiencing what other people are experiencing. Like, my phone, I've made a lot of money off my phone. Like, the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding.
Not gone down. Wages have not kept up. If you've heard about the factory burning down in California, that was actually because one of the employees was just so fed up with the cost of living, he couldn't pay his bills. You just had enough. People have had enough. It's just kind of crazy. People just can't afford the lives they used to decades ago. Things have gotten worse, and a lot of people at the top have not really recognized this. They think the economy is booming because the stock market is doing well, but in reality, the wealth gap is getting much bigger. A lot of the lower income families are struggling and they're getting further behind in life. That's the reality. Let me know in the comments down below what you think and take a look at the rest of these stories.
I'm just laying here thinking, and I might get attacked for saying this, but hear me out. Yes, the cost of living and the cost of everything is absolutely ridiculous right now. Like, I'm not justifying it at all. But all these people online who are complaining about how much everything costs and how they can't afford their way of life, this is my take on it. I live in Orlando. I live in one of the most expensive places to live in the United States. But Edward and I don't finance cars. We don't finance phones. We don't buy things that we can't afford. We rent a cheap apartment. Like, I've personally, maybe this is just the way I was raised, but I feel like you can live within your means. People who are complaining about struggling and have no money are people who have a $60,000 BMW that they pay $800 a month on. And then they want to go cry because they don't have any money for the month. And the way of life is too expensive. I don't know, like, to me, it's like there's nothing we can do about the cost of living. We're not in control. It sucks. You could live cheaper. You don't have to live luxurious to be happy. You're actually just making yourself less happy because you're more stressed about money because you're trying to buy all these expensive things that you can't afford. But it just doesn't make total sense to me because you can always live within your means. And we don't have great jobs. I'm a lifeguard and he's a server. Like, we make regular money. We make less than average money, but we live within our means. Our plan is to buy a house in 2 years, and we're gonna probably be able to do that, like, because we just manage our money properly. If you even just put $300 away a month, 5 years, that turns into what? $18,000. And if you invest in the stock market, which is what I do, it's going to turn into a lot more than that. Biggest advice my mom ever gave me that has made me very successful. Don't ever finance anything. Buy $1,000 car. There's plenty of them in the world. Just buy a broken down $1,000 car and save every dollar that you can and invest in the stock market if you can.
Hi, I'm Burke, a small business insurance expert with Byberk.
What's a Byberk?
Byberk isn't a thing. Byberk is a way. It's the smart way small business owners get insurance. And it only takes a few minutes. And you don't have to know what policy you need. Experts like me do all the homework for you.
And?
And that's it. Sorry. I love business insurance. Call or get your quote in minutes at Byberk.com. Byberk. You want to see a picture of my dog?
I don't.
Trust me.
I'm really curious to know, people that live other places, how much are you paying for a gallon of gas or gasoline, fuel, whatever you call it? How much is minimum wage there? How much is like an average amount for rent for like a 2 or 3 bedroom home or apartment? How much is it for a gallon of milk or a carton of eggs? How much are y'all paying for shit, and where do you live? I'm just really curious. I'm in Michigan, and we're paying anywhere between $4 to $5 per gallon of gas. A gallon of milk is about $5 to $7. Minimum wage is somewhere around, I want to say between $12 and $15 an hour. US dollars, obviously. If you're lucky, you'll get a job making maybe $20 an hour. And like, I live in a 3-bedroom ranch style home, and it's approximately $2,000 a month. What about you guys? I'm just curious about the differences in the prices of living where you live. I am thinking about moving, and I'm just wondering what I should consider.
Prices are never coming down. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's time to accept reality. Grocery prices are not lower than they were a year ago or 5 years ago. Gas prices are about the same price as they were a year ago, and we don't want them to go down to $2 a gallon again, because the last time they were at $2 a gallon, that's when the world was shut down. The unfortunate truth is that the governments actually have a 2% goal of price increases for just about everything. That's the inflation goal, right? So price increases are just a fact of life. Now, for people like you and me, unfortunately, that means that prices we are seeing now, this is the new normal. This is what we are paying just to survive. And it's unbelievable. Energy bills we're paying, the water bills we're paying, the groceries. I can't even have fun at the grocery store. It used to be my favorite part of the day. Now I dread it. All these nameless, faceless trolls in my comments telling me my grocery prices are lower because of, who's in charge. What planet are you living on? Okay? Nobody can afford to survive here anymore. It's exhausting. But you know what? I think instead of focusing on trying to bring prices down and yearning for a past of lower prices that's unfortunately never going to happen again, maybe we should look to a future of higher wages. Now, hold on. I know this is controversial for some reason, but you know what? Wages need to come up. And I hate when, older people tell me, oh, well, minimum wage is too high these days. These kids working at Taco Bell, they don't deserve to make $20 an hour or whatever it is. You know what? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Minimum wage is too low because no one can afford to live on that. And it's just a crazy argument. To argue against raising wages is just the silliest argument. And it has no basis in reality. And if you're watching this and you think that minimum wage is too high, I welcome you to try and live on minimum wage in America. And I can tell you, you will change your mind very quickly. It's time to stop waiting for some politician to magically swoop in and tell us that the prices are going to get lower. Because, spoiler alert, they're not. It's time to start working towards a future where we can all earn enough to survive. Because I think that's...
You are looking at someone who has lived on minimum wage. You're looking at someone who has lived on minimum wage. Like, I've worked for, let's say, UPS. I worked for UPS. There was a time where I was making $8.50. Like, when I started working for UPS in 2012, I was making $8.50. I was working like it was nothing. Driving a 2008 Chevrolet Impala. I rarely would be. I was rarely at the house. I would like sleep in the car. I was focused on work. Like, that's where my mind was at. I've lived in this world when I was making $8.50. I remember when $15 an hour was something. When $20 an hour was something. A lot of people live above their means. I used to live, like, my wife and I, before we got married, we were living in a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. The rent was around $400 to $500 a month. I used to be paying, before my wife and I got together, before we even met, because we met through Tinder, I was living in Jeffersontown, Kentucky, paying $1,500 a month. I was working. I did DoorDash, Lyft, UPS, Amazon, Papa John. I worked 5 different jobs. I didn't slow down. But I didn't make no video about what I was going through. I already knew what my goal was. To get it accomplished. And now I did it. So
that's the only option at this point.
I definitely agree with this person that being a female in this economy is a lot more expensive. There's a lot more expenses that females have than males, and it's a very difficult time for them because a lot of females in this economy, they don't reach for the highest paying jobs. That's more normally taken up by men, but they also have a lot of products that men don't need because feminine care is just really expensive. So it's no wonder why everyone is struggling, women in particular, because things are just priced way too high for what we're making from our 9-to-5 jobs.
Prices like this, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. Between hair, nails, lashes, brows, outfits, I don't know. And let's not forget the biggest thing, gas. My car hasn't touched a full tank in months, and I don't think it'll ever happen again. I was driving to go pick up my sister from PA the other day. I drove past a gas station that said $5.99. $5.99. I remember a few months ago, I put $15 in my tank, and it got me like three quarters of a tank. Now I put $15 in, doesn't even give me 100 miles. And I'm a girl, like, I want to spend my money on cute outfits and looking cute and everything like that, but minimum wage jobs are not cutting it. It's just not cutting it. And I feel bad even more for like this, like, especially like the single moms. Like the single moms and like, not even just the single moms, like single anybody right now. Working 2-3 jobs and then it's like still barely enough to make ends meet. Like, how are we living like this? This can't be. I honestly just pray that things get better, because if things keep going like this...
I'm fuming right now, and I gotta talk about it. Let's stop pretending that an 87-cent raise in Canadian healthcare isn't a slap in the face. It's not a pat on the back. It's certainly not progress. It is literally a punch to the fucking face. We're quite literally out here holding a collapsing system together, and the big reward that we should be jumping for joy about is fucking pocket change. Literal cushion money. While everything in this country keeps climbing, groceries, rent, gas, basic survival, every bill keeps going up, except our wages. And somehow we're expected to smile because we got something.
It's so easy to become a podcaster with Riverside. First, go to Riverside and open an account. When you're ready to...
No. Your healthcare workers aren't asking for miracles. We're asking not to drown. We're asking to keep up with the cost of living, of being in Canada. We're asking for pay that reflects the responsibility of keeping people breathing, stable, safe, and alive. And spare me the whole, like, it compounds over time. Pennies don't fix burnout. Pennies don't fix staffing shortages. Pennies don't fix a system that is running on fucking fumes. And I'm sorry, I can't imagine how hard it is to be at that table with that bargaining committee, but that table knows damn well that this isn't enough. And they know that it won't keep people in healthcare. They know it won't improve retention. They know that it won't touch the financial reality that we are all living in, not just healthcare, Canadians. This isn't a raise. It's actually an insult. And it's a reminder just how disconnected the decision makers are from the people who actually do the work. And if this makes people uncomfortable, good, because we're well past the point of being polite about it. That is all. Have the day you deserve.
A family of 4 in New Jersey needs $6,104 a month just to cover the basics. That's before savings, retirement, vacation, home repairs, or anything that makes you feel like you're in more than survival mode. This is an article by EJ Johnson on WPG Talk Radio. And let's see how he breaks this down, because I've seen him talk about this on 101.5. So it starts out by saying that New Jersey costs 12% more than the national average to live in. And for a single person, you need about $2,772 per month. And he gives the 10 costs that make New Jersey one of the most expensive states in America. And the first one, of course, is property taxes. The highest in the nation, New Jersey's effective property tax rate is 1.77%, which is more than double the national average of 0.89%. And he points out that Trenton's been promising reform for decades without delivering it. Next is housing costs. We are 32% above the national average. The median home price in New Jersey is $584,000 and the median is $447,000. The average rent for a one-bedroom statewide comes to $2,084 a month. Next is car insurance. We're also among the highest in the nation. The average annual auto insurance premium in New Jersey is $3,414. The national average is $1,258. Tolls. I just talked about this one the other day. The Garden State Parkway, the New Jersey Turnpike, the Delaware River Bridges, the commuter crossings. New Jersey drivers pay tolls constantly and the rates keep going up. A regular commuter on the Turnpike or Parkway can pay $15 to $20 a day just to get to work and back. Coming in at number 5 is the state income tax, progressive and persistent, he describes it as. It's one of the top income tax rates at 10.75% for high earners, but this tax hits the middle class too, because combined with the federal taxes, New Jersey workers routinely take home significantly less in their paycheck. 6 is childcare. I'm lucky because my children are a little bit older, but I remember going through it. It's one of the top 5 most expensive in the country. Parents in New Jersey pay between $1,500 and $2,000 a month for infant care. Then we've got our utility bills, where we are higher than the national average for electric, gas, and water. Number 8 is our groceries. Grocery bills in New Jersey run about 8% above the national average. The average weekly grocery spend statewide is $274. Number 9 is healthcare costs. It's above average and climbing. And then for number 10, you just got the compounding effect. When you put everything in all at once, it just breaks people. What do you think of his breakdown?
Why does anybody assume that prices are ever going to come back down? Like, oh, when things get better, when Trump's out of office, like when the Strait of Hormuz opens again, like when all these, things take effect, why does anyone think prices are going to come down? When have prices ever come back down after any kind of economic disaster? Like, even when things get better, like these companies don't give a fuck. They're charging what they can get away with. It's just going to keep getting worse because we let them get away with literally everything. And people actually believe that there is a justification or a reason behind them charging as much as they do, when these companies, their profits are greater than they have ever been in the entire history of our civilization. And they're still cutting back on what we're getting. Like bags of chips are smaller. Like, everything is smaller. You're getting less product for more money with everything. Not even just food, like, toothpaste, whatever. Like, the product is less and you're paying more. And these companies are profiting, like, disgustingly high amounts from this. It's unnecessary. They don't need to be charging as much as they are to just make it through, to even turn a profit. They don't need to be charging this much. They're just charging as much as they can get away with. Every time anything happens, something totally unrelated, it's like, oh, well, we have to raise the prices because the prices are going up, so no one will question it. I'm saying, like, people really need to understand that we have the power. If you don't like something, do something about it. We just have to have the courage and know that we're going to all have each other's backs. That's what it's coming down to. And I think, people are starting to understand that a little bit. And, we have to break out of this world that we're in now that they've conditioned us to be in, where we're all online and disconnected from each other. And we need to really get back to human connection, because that's where our power lies.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform made for anyone with an idea and a drive to bring it to life. Describe what you want and watch it take shape. You can plan, customize, and expand.
I'm not gonna lie, in today's economy, if you want to move out, you either need to have 4 roommates or selfie pics. I'm sorry, but why did no one tell me about the third option? My friend Karina just got a job working at like corporate, something's kind of like an office job, and it's pretty good. Like, the deal that she signed, I think the salary is like $70K a year, right? That's very reasonable. But then when she moves out, right, she's telling me that she's paying $2,500 in rent every single month. In my head, I'm like, damn, that's steep to me, right? But I'm like, whatever. She's probably making it work. She's always handled her shit, whatever. And so we go to dinner one night because I want to go see her new place and stuff. Nice ass place, by the way. Amenities are insane. It has like a full gym. They have a coffee bar downstairs where residents get up to 2 free coffees a day. Fucking insane, right? And so we go out to dinner. We go to Din Tai Fung. If you haven't been there, you need to go, right? So when we go, we usually get like, a few little sides to share and stuff like that. This time when we go, Karina is fucking ordering like everything on the menu, right? She's like, oh, we'll have one of the damn, what the hell are they called? Those little like pork dumplings. We'll get a side of the rice, the noodles, all this stuff, shit we normally don't order, right? And I'm like, damn, bro, like the bill's gonna be fucking huge, right? I'm low-key sweating. Karina acts like she has no care in the world. So I'm like, damn, she must have got a bonus or something, right? So as we're sitting there talking or whatever, Karina hits me with some shit I was not expecting, right? She's like, oh, girl, she was like, I wanted to ask you something. She was like, I'm trying to go to, Portugal. She was like, I'm trying to go to Portugal next year in the summer. I want to know if you wanted to come with me. And in my head, I'm like, oh, she probably got a good deal or something, right? And I'm like, yeah, what's that gonna look like and stuff like that. She's telling me that she got like it's part of like a tour, right? So she's telling me that to go on the tour next summer, it's gonna be, she was like, oh, it's not that bad, girl. She was like, I got a good deal on it. She was like, it's like $6,000. $6,000. I tell her straight up, I'm like, girl, that's honestly that's way the fuck out of my budget, right? I was like, with gas prices right now, I just paid $107 to fill up my car. Traveling is out of the picture, right?
Listen. Every state, everything is different. The most gas is like $4 or something. You go to California, it's almost reaching $10. Oh, my goodness.
They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from.
And then Karina tells me, oh, well, because we're pretty close, right? She tells me, oh, well, I really want you to go. I think it'll be so much fun. What if I pay for half of it, like of your portion? Girl, I was like, are you selling drugs? Because one thing about Karina, she's always been like a hustler. For a while, she did not have a job, right? This is like a short story. What her like income was, she would talk to lonely men on some app. I forgot what the app was. She would just talk to them, right? She wasn't setting anything appropriate. These were just lonely men who wanted companionship. Bitch, that's what she was doing full time. So I asked her and I'm like, bitch, are you talking to men again on the internet? Because she started talking to this guy and he wasn't comfortable with that. So she said that she would stop. And so I'm like, girl, are you doing that again? Because I thought, you know, what's his name wasn't cool with that. And she was like, oh no, girl. She was like, I'm not doing that anymore. She was like, I found something better. Right. And I'm like, this girl, I'm like, what are you doing? Because you just got this new apartment. Shit is nice as fuck. And now you're trying to like take these trips all over, like what, and you're trying to pay for me. I was like, girl, what are you doing? Like, right. So she tells me that she found another app that's better because you don't even have to talk to these lonely ass men. She was like, girl, I found this app. It's called Pay Me. I guess it's in the app store, right? She was like, it's called Pay Me. Basically, she was like, all you do is you sign up, and she was like, you get paid out when these huge public lawsuits settle, like against huge companies like AT&T, any type, like these huge lawsuits that go through, you get paid out. She was like, girl, it brings me like an extra like $500 to $1,000 every single month. Now shit is starting to add up because let's be real, like $70K a year in California is not shit, right? So now I'm understanding where all of this is coming from, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck? I was like, you know what? Let me download the app, and if it actually works or whatever, what you're saying works, I was like, I'll think about going to Portugal, right? I was like, let me see if I get any money from this, right? I was like, I'll let you know in like a month or two, right? So I download the app. I downloaded it, I put my stuff in there, and for the first like 2 weeks, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't see shit, right? That's the one downside from the app is like, you have to wait at least a month to get anything. Once that first month passed, bitch, I've been getting like an extra $700 to $800 every single month. So it looks like I'm going to Portugal next summer.
It's illegal to drive without car insurance in almost every US state, but there's one thing you could try pretty much any time if you want to save money. So I found this website, and look at the difference. $159 a month. I thought this was the best price I could find. Don't even look anywhere else. This is the best price, right? Wrong. Now look at my new price, $47 a month.
Working hard at your job used to feel like it would lead you somewhere, but now it just feels like survival.
I am literally on lunch right now from my job that I've been at for 3 years. I check my email and I get yet another denial letter from a job that I was 100% sure that I got.
Yep, this is me crashing out because I lost my job 5 months ago, and here I am job searching again in this market where it's super hard to get a job. Like, what is this?
I be in work meetings struggling so hard to tell everybody, y'all, I don't really give a fuck about none of this shit. Like, I really, like, the world is on fire.
Listen, y'all, something is breaking right now when it comes to work and just 9-to-5 jobs in general. And at first, it was very quiet, like it was not loud. Now, it doesn't look like some dramatic moment. It looks like people are just getting quieter and quiet quitting. They are more checked out, they are more frustrated, and they are more done than they ever have been before. And you actually see this in small ways if you look at the people that you work with. You will see people doing the bare minimum, you will see people quitting without a backup plan, and you'll see people mentally checking out while still showing up every single day. And on the surface, it might look like people just don't care anymore, but honestly, that's just not what's happening. I think that people actually do care, and that's actually the problem. They cared, and it stopped feeling worth it, because for a long time, there was this unspoken deal that work hard, you stay consistent at your job, and more importantly, you stay loyal to your job. And eventually, you will move up the ladder, earn more money, things will get better, all that good stuff. We're talking more money, more stability, and more freedom. But for a lot of people nowadays, that deal is just not holding up anymore. They are working hard out here. I mean, they are more productive than they have ever been before. And they are not seeing real progress. They are showing up every day and still feel stuck. And after a while, that will start to wear down on you, because effort without progress doesn't really motivate you. It just drains you. Now let's add everything else on top of it. Outside of work, you have the rising costs, you have unstable job markets, mass layoffs, and burnout becoming a normal thing now. At the same time, you're still expected to give your full energy like nothing has changed. I'm talking about you have to stay productive, stay positive, stay grateful, even when the return doesn't really match the effort that you're giving. That disconnect, guys, is where people will start to genuinely go in their cars during their lunch break and crash out, bro. they stop going above and beyond. They will stop believing that the system works. You know, they will stop seeing work as something that leads somewhere. And once that belief is gone, y'all, everything will change, okay? Everything is currently changing because motivation isn't just about discipline. It's about trust. And right now, a lot of people out here don't trust that their work is actually moving them forward. It's just keeping them right above water, if that. So many of them are disengaging, not because they are lazy, but because they've lost the connection between the effort and the outcome. And here's the part people don't really want to admit. You can't fix that with better time management, right? Or you can't even fix that with productivity hacks or trying to wake up at 5 a.m. to try and get more time on your hands. If the system feels broken, people will eventually stop playing along. So what happens next after all of that, right? That's the real question. Because this isn't just about jobs, honestly. This is about how people will see their future. And when enough people start questioning whether the path that they're on is actually leading anywhere, you don't just get burnout, you get a shift in priorities and expectations and in what people are willing to tolerate. So I don't think Americans are just crashing out about their jobs, at least for not any, at least for no reason. They are reacting to a system that doesn't feel like it's working anymore, that they have trusted in so much since their childhood. And once that realization sets in, people don't just go back to normal. They start looking for something different. And that's where things will really start to change.
So I had to come on here and crash out for a second. I already crashed out in my family group chat, and they encouraged me that I should post this on TikTok because it's a very valid crash out. But I am literally on lunch right now from my job that I've been at for 3 years. I check my email and I get yet another denial letter from a job that I was 100% sure that I got. When I tell y'all I don't understand what it is, I don't know what it is. I've applied to over 500 jobs within this last year in 2025. Out of those 500 jobs, I might have gotten 10 interviews. I went back to school. I got a master's degree. I have all this experience that I put on my resume that I've actually done, and I still cannot land a new job when I don't know what it is. I understand the job market is terrible and all these different things that are going on, but like, come on now. So I feel like I've applied myself like so much within this last year just to try to get a better position for myself. I cannot get anything. I don't know what to do no more. I'm trying so hard to keep the faith. I'm trying so hard. I'm trying to stay positive. I'm trying to say, oh, well, maybe this wasn't the job for me. This was but come on now. Every job not the job for me. Out of 500 jobs that I've applied for, every single one was not the one for me. I said all that to say this. Because I'm desperate at this point. If y'all can give me any type of insight, any type of resume assistance. If you know a recruiter, currently work as an executive administrative assistant, but I'm trying to pivot over into IT. That is what I have my master's degree in. I went back to school, got my master's degree in information communication technology. I have hopes to become a project manager or a product manager one day. I need help. If you have anyone or know anyone or can give any type of insight to help me get a better position, I would greatly appreciate it. I know so many people on TikTok are going through this same exact thing right now. Feel this same way. Feel like they're crashing out. Feel like they can't get anything. I know y'all feel this same exact way as me. So I don't know what to do besides.
I had a crazy idea. We were surprised that no one had done it before.
Success doesn't follow a formula, and neither.
Phone a friend. And right now, I'm phoning the world because I need help. Desperately.
I be in work meetings struggling so hard to tell everybody, y'all, I don't really give a fuck about none of this shit. Like, the world is on fire. It's like, we're going to shit in a handbasket, and y'all care about the most minuscule things. And I'm just like, girl, like, oh, the deadline is fake. Y'all made the deadline up. This isn't real. Like, there's so many things going on in this world, my God. And y'all are just, oh, well, the clothes aren't gonna get here by this day. Oh, the factory day. Shut up. Shut up. God forbid if they want me to speak. Like, I literally be like, yes, let me get my stuff out the way first so that way I can go on with my merry day. I don't have the time or the patience to sit here and listen to y'all complain about the most dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. Like, there's no possible way that y'all care about this that much. There's no possible way. And they've been doing, like, the people that I work with have been doing this job for 20, 30 years at this point. Move on, baby, like, I'm so over it. Like, as you can tell, I can't even get it out. I'm so over this shit. Like, please, leave me the hell alone.
Because I feel like you've had a personal problem with me this entire time I've worked here. I'm so over this company.
Yeah, so, you've been working here for a couple months now, and honestly, you haven't been meeting my expectations
performance-wise? What do you mean? I send all of my deliverables on time. I run all the meetings. I'm literally carrying the team.
To be blunt, you kind of have an attitude problem, especially with me.
Especially with you? Are you serious? This is BS. I'm so over this, honestly. Wow.
See, this is exactly what I mean. You're literally proving my point right now. You're on your phone while your manager is literally trying to speak with you. How is that professional at all?
On my phone? Oh, I'm recording this entire conversation so I can send it to HR because there's just no way that this is legal. I'm so over you, honestly, because I feel like you've had a personal problem with me this entire time I've worked here. I'm so over this company.
Yep, this is me crashing out because I lost my job 5 months ago, and here I am, job searching again in this market where it's super hard to get a job. Like, what is this? I've been putting together my resume for the past 2 hours, and yeah, I guess this is day 1 of me trying to get my life together again. Feel free to follow along my journey as I try to figure out what the heck I'm doing.
Bro, oh God, this might be my motherfucking first crash out video. Bro, I just don't even know where to start at. So, this truck keep fucking stopping. Every time I'm at a red light, it keep cutting the fuck off. I'm driving, it's slowing down, cutting the fuck off. That's a fucking safety hazard, bro. Like, and they keep telling me, oh, the truck worked. The truck is old. Oh, you just gotta play with it. I ain't got time to play with no fucking truck while I'm trying to deliver mail. And then y'all want me to deliver the mail on time. I got a time to come the fuck back. I can't keep fucking with this truck. Bro, I'm really about to crash out. Like, yo, if you want to get paid to crash out, come here. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm so sorry, bro. My mouth on potty right now, but, bro, my wife keep telling me to stop cursing so much in these videos, but, bro, like, I can't help it. Like, why the fuck it... Bro, I asked for another truck. They told me no. Huh? How the fuck y'all tell me no to giving me another truck, bro? Bro, that is a safety hazard. Bro, that is a safety hazard. Like, the truck keep cutting off. Like, and I told them that. The truck keep cutting off. Thank God I made it to where I'm at fucking safely. Got me spitting this shit. But, bro, I swear, like, I'm just trying my best to just keep calm and have a positive attitude about it. Because at the end of the day, if the truck keep breaking down, I'm going to have to sit here, wait, and then they're going to have to bring me another truck, which taking time away from me delivering the mail. Make it make sense. Why not just give me a good running truck? Oh my gosh, bro. I need my wife to call me, bro, because I'm about to crash out. Bro, this job is insane. And I'm on my 10-minute break, bro. I'm on my 10-minute break. I could do what I want to do. Like, fuck.
Applied for a job today. Heard back an hour later, they said, you want to do a phone interview? I said, yeah, let's do it. They said, 2:15 work? I was like, yeah, That's perfect. Let's do it. That's awesome. 2:14 rolls around. They filled the position.
I used to say, if I hear AI one more time, I'm gonna lose it. But Monday.com is super easy to use and knows how to do AI right. My team quit going through endless.
What? What are you? You fit. Why are you still doing interviews? Huh? Riddle me that. What's that about? What the fuck? What? 1 minute before my alleged interview? What are we doing? Get your shit together. The fuck?
So, I got this new job, right? Why am I shitting bricks? I feel like getting a job in the creative space is a lot more scary. Being tested for your creativity. Ooh, what if they don't like my ideas? I'm like doing a clothing brand's social media. So I'll be like recording videos for the editing and coming up with video ideas and all that. But it's okay. Everything's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay. We're gonna do good. You look good.
Yay, finally, my day off. I can't wait to relax and enjoy. Oh yeah, wait a minute, that's right. I only get 1 day off a week, so I gotta use it for groceries, errands, chores, and pretty much anything else I gotta take care of before I have to work my life away for the next 6 days. And even if I had time, like, what am I supposed to do? I have no money. I don't even have money to go out to eat or hang out with friends. And even if I had money, where am I supposed to go? There's no fucking third spaces in this country. Everything is just mile after mile of parking lots, massive corporations, shopping centers, highways, private residences, condo complexes, and it's all soulless. It's all just designed to extract as much money, which is basically the equivalent of people's time, sweat, tears, soul, and hard work, out of us all as possible. It's ridiculous. Whether you have time, money, or neither, either way you're screwed. The parks are all closed. Everyone's in a shit mood because the economy's terrible, the housing market's terrible, and by the time we all get off work, we're too tired to do anything anyways. Like, what's there for me to do right now, really? Swipe and doom scroll my life away on meaningless, soul-crushing social media apps? Go out and spend the last bits of my paycheck left over after bills on poisonous fast food slop that doesn't even taste good and that's not even healthy for your body anyways? Like, I'm just working my life away with no greater purpose. There's no reason to even be working. We're working to die.
So I hear about the 9 to 5, but was the 9 to 5 actually 9 to 5 back when our parents were working? Because now it's more like an 8 to 5, because then they'll give you a half hour or an hour long lunch, and then it's unpaid. So you still have to actually work like 9 hours instead of 8 hours, because bro, I don't care if I'm on break, I still feel like I'm at work. Like, unless I am in home in my bed, like, I'm working. Anyways, what's going on? Who decided that this was the model, and who decided also, if you have like, maybe I'll give you a 45-minute commute there and back, you're spending another 2 hours commuting to and from work, which also just feels like work. It's not, I am not at home in my bed. Who decided? Because you can't have a life. People are like, oh, well, you have work-life balance and all that. What balance? If I wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning to get to work at 8 a.m. and I don't leave until 5, and then I have to drive home and I don't get home until probably 6:30, and then you expect me to cook, actively clean my house, maybe do laundry, and then shower and get into bed, and then have any time to do anything else, what am I gonna do? Respectfully, what am I gonna do? I'm already tired from the job. What balance is there? You get 2 days, and then over those 2 days, you're just recovering from working 5 days in a row. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little too mad about this. Oh my God, am I just young and I'm just like, oh my God, this is terrible. I want to go back to school. I hate everything about it. I'm so sorry.
I can't work a 9 to 5 job. Somebody could give me $500,000 and say, here, work this 9 to 5 job for the next 60 years. Fuck you. I just can't do it. I legitimately can't do it. And anytime I've ever tried to express this feeling to people that jobs aren't for me, People look at me crazy, like I'm lazy and like I need to suck it up, and that's just life. Newsflash, that's not just fucking life. If it was just life, there wouldn't be people who are doing whatever they want to do all the time. There wouldn't be the rich people. There wouldn't be people who are free. I feel like so many people are stuck. They're in like this box. Why would I want to do something I don't like? Why would I want to hate my life? I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it because it's not about the money for me. It's never been about the money. I want freedom. I want happiness. That's what this shit is all about. Why would I want to make my life miserable and spend 70% of my life at a job? I'm learning about this bullshit that I know won't matter. And when I ask the teacher, when am I going to use this in real life? They can't give me an answer. Like, okay, you can work your regular job and you can be fine with it. Not me. Not me.
Coming to the podcast made me realize I really don't want to work a 9-to-5 job anymore. It's something about being inside a building all day for 8+ hours that's depressing. I mean, just look at nature. The trees, the birds chirping, the sky, the wind. Being inside a building all day, you don't get to experience this, man. I don't know, being outside in nature just feels like freedom. Freedom from the job world, freedom from the 9-to-5 system, freedom from bills and taxes and all this other corporate BS. Like, call me crazy, but I believe we were born to be free, not just wage slaves working for corporate greed. Call me crazy, but I believe we were born to be free and not just work for deities who drain us for our energy. Call me crazy, but I believe we were born to be free. I believe we were born to unite and have communities. Call me crazy, but I believe we were born to be free and not just work a job until the day we die.
I finally realized why all the big companies use Navan to manage their business travel. With Navan, company travel basically runs
Coachella, the biggest scam in history. That's what the people are saying. All right, Coachella is supposed to be a time where there's supposed to be a whole bunch of performances. You know what I mean? You know, people doing what they doing one time out of the year. It's a big concert. A whole bunch of major people like Justin Bieber. I've seen a couple of other big names and stuff like that. Do I really watch things like Coachella? Have I ever looked at a ticket price? No, to be honest with you, I haven't. But I'm not completely just against it. I just haven't, you know. But without further ado, we're going to get into this video, all right? So make sure you hit that subscribe button. I know it's late in the day. I didn't give y'all a post for a while. Y'all was at work, and that's my apology. Yesterday was just so busy. And by the time I got home, so y'all know this for the until May 1st, I'm reporting to my unit right now, right? I got to do my annual training. So with me reporting to my unit, my wife is at the kids with she's at the house with both of our kids all day. We got 2 under 2. By the time I get home, my wife is pretty tired. You know what I mean? So I took the kids from my wife. She took a nap. Did I work out yesterday? I think I worked out a little bit while my daughter was sleeping. Got done with that. My son was extremely fussy. My wife took my daughter. I came downstairs. By then, my eyes were tired. I was like, I'm not going to give them good energy. I'm not going to pick a good video. I just got to post in the evening, you know, and that's why I made that post letting y'all know it was nothing for the morning. But I'm going to try to record 2 extra videos tonight to give to y'all for while y'all at work tomorrow, all right? But anyways, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. Let's hear the Coachella banter.
Bro, Coachella might be the greatest scam to ever be created. And nobody wants to admit it. You've got people paying $3,000 just to get in, just to stand in the desert, breathing in dust like it's part of the experience. And then you've got VIP sections going for $25,000 up to $50,000. That's not even including the bills. What are we doing? Opening.
You know when they say like there's levels to having money? $25,000 for a concert table? Unlimited time that you'll be sitting in these chairs. You're paying $25,000. When they say there's levels to money, there's really levels to money. Because the only person I can imagine spending $25,000 is somebody that has $25,000 and they spend it like it's $250. Those are the only. There ain't no common folks. This must not be for common folk. $25,000? Do I need to hear any more? I've never been anywhere where I had to pay $25,000 to be there. except for college, but that's a scam too.
Listen. Listen, when you get to a certain stature in life, money is different. People perceive money differently. There are some people who make $7,000 a month. Some people that make $7,000 in a day. There are people who make $9,000 in a month. Some people make $9,000 in a day. Money comes and goes. But yeah, I've never been to a concert. Never been. The first concert that I was gonna go to, what's up, Burberry? The first concert I was going to go to was for Juice WRLD. Rest in peace. Now that he passed away, I haven't been to no concerts. There is a little list. Maybe one or two people. I would go to see Nate Jackson, comedy, and I would go to see Rod Wave as a concert. Because I just never experienced a concert. So yeah. That's something that I would do, but that is crazy. I would not do no Coachella. Insane. I'm making some noodles. So let me bring this back up.
Depending on your major. I major in business and logistics. I don't use the shit. In fact, I'm a YouTuber. So did I scam myself? Anyways, my shit got paid off though. Maybe you got scammed. But like I was saying, $25,000 is a lot of money, man. 25 to 50? Damn. For $25,000, I need a seat in Coachella, I need a seat in the White House, and I need a seat in heaven. For $25K? Damn. Just to see like a gyrate on a stage? I got a big screen at the crib. All I gotta do is stand close and I'm front row. Free. All right.
A nightclub in the sand?
No problem.
So you can repost the same video
get ahead of myself
as everyone else of Justin Bieber.
I get ahead of myself.
Sitting down, bored, scrolling memes on YouTube like he's waiting for his Uber. I'm sorry. You paid thousands to watch a man do what you're doing for free in your bed at 2 a.m. in the comfort of your own home. Listen.
Man, this topic really got me thinking right now. But you know what else I've been thinking about? The fact that my subscribers are making money. So this subscriber right here DM'd me and he made $3,000 in 70 days. So I tell y'all all the time to DM me if y'all make any money, clicking the link in my description or the link in the comment section. All right, people are making money playing games. All right, free cash. All right, so I told him to send me a screenshot right here. Here's a screenshot of his earnings. This is not a fake screenshot or anything like that. I don't know this guy. I don't think we follow each other. Well, yeah, he follows me, but shout out to him. And then I asked him, I said, that's wild, bro. What games do you be playing so I can let the people know? He said, bingo, all of the bingo games. So y'all check out the bingo games. Solitaire 1. I made the most off of Bingo Cash, Pocket 7 games, and Solitaire Cash. All right, so y'all see everything he said right here. All right, there's a multiplier on there. Bro, go check it out for yourself. If you feel like, this is a little sketchy, just check it out. See if it's for you. See the games. Try it out. If it's not for you, don't do it. You don't have to put no hard information, just an email and a password. You know what I mean? Check out the games. Try the games out again. And if you get a little funny, don't put no hard information. But just try it out. All right, I'm gonna put the link in the description below and the link in the comment section. All right, consider himself and like.
Get ready with me to switch your car insurance. Are you letting them take advantage of you? Have you been insured?
Singing, you know, to the younger Justin. Like, I heard it was a dope moment. But if you watch any of Justin Bieber's performances, he's not like a Chris Brown. He gonna jump out and it's fireworks. No, he's very simple. It actually makes for a dope experience if you're a real Justin fan. But I think I appreciate a little bit more when I could just watch it on my phone. Because I'd be damned if you just sitting there like this. Can I hold you, hold you, hold you? Can I get to know you? Like, if you don't go like this or something, hit the sweet spot, get it sticky and like, do something. But the brother just, like, he don't even look at the crowd. Can I hold you, hold? But, yeah, I don't know. $25,000 for that? Hell no.
You could have stayed home, opened your laptop, typed in funny videos, and saved yourself $47,000 in dehydration. And don't even get me started on the food. $28 for chicken tenders, $15 for lemonade, $40 for some aesthetic-looking tacos that taste like regret. At that point, you're not eating. You're investing. And don't get me wrong, everybody's there posting like, best weekend of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if I had to spend 10 grand to be there, trust me, I would like to.
$1,000.
Bro, Coachella might be the greatest.
I ain't gonna hold you. What he said about the tacos being, $40 and stuff for the specific words he said was aesthetic tacos. I ain't gonna hold y'all. There are a lot of restaurants nowadays, food trucks, small businesses that are selling aesthetic foods. Zero flavor, but great on a picture. Can we go back to seasoning? Like the cayenne peppers of the world, the herbs and spices. Now everything got this zigzag of a damn stripper sauce that I can't even dip my damn tenders into. What the hell is it? Why I got flowers on my chicken tenders? I had no, thoughts in mind to take pictures of chicken tenders. Why the hell you done sprinkled some sauce and flowers on my shit? Please go to the back and make it look regular. I want 3 chicken tenders, a little bit of space, then some fries over there, and then a little joint of the honey mustard. And if you're really feeling nice, go on and add some barbecue sauce. Complimentary. But y'all out here sprinkling grass and shit on chicken tenders and calling it luxury. Should be $70. I don't know about y'all, but I be seeing people's pictures and stuff. They post their plates, and they're like, yeah, I went, fine dining. That's the type of words. Why the fine dining places got mad empty space on the plate? I'll be damned. You come out here and the prices be crazy. $58, $79. They come out, it's a damn piece of steak like this. It's a big ass plate. Like this, motherfucker. And then your steak is just sitting there. And then, to make it a little luxury, they do this. They throw some grass on your shit. And say that'd be $78.65. What bring this back. Like, I don't know. I don't ever want to have too much money that I'm stupid.
If you go to the Axis website, which is the official Coachella resale website, the original price for GA was about $1,000, while VIP, I think, was close to about $1,500. Let's check out GA.
Okay.
Whoa, $6,400 for GA. That can't be right. Let me check VIP. $11,500. Hold on. $26,450. That literally can't be right. Let's check.
What pisses me off about this? Y'all sit here year round, play like y'all broke. Y'all get on TikTok and it's just a recession and jobs ain't hiring. Indeed is crashing. Everybody's scamming. Pyramid schemes everywhere. Then y'all asses is singing and dancing and chickling and jiving at Coachella for $11,000. What are y'all selling? Loans? Selling blood? Selling ass? What are y'all doing? How are y'all getting in Coachella? You know job having asses. These places be packed to the front to the back. So they ain't struggling. So Gen whoever's, there's a Gen out there, generation that's out there, that's lying. I want to say Gen Z, but there's the millennials that's out here playing broke too. And they be out there with their damn cowgirl boots on with the cutoff shorts. Everybody playing broke till it's Coachella season. Till the spring break season. Y'all ain't getting that damn much on your tax return. If so, some of y'all ass need to get reported to the damn IRS. Now, I ain't gonna be the one to do the reporting. But how y'all niggas getting in this event? $26,000? That's a car. That's a car.
The other websites like OfferUp or Facebook Marketplace.
This should say lowest price. It said this for the cheap niggas.
For anywhere, it's got to be better. Okay, VIP on offer.
Hell no.
$6,000. Who's paying for that? Okay, hold on. Here's another one. Discounted $4,500 each. So, okay, so it seems like that's about the going rate. Okay, let's say we pull the trigger for $9,000 for 2 wristbands for the 2 of us. Then we need a house. The hotels are sold out, so we have to check Airbnb.
46.
Here's a 3-bedroom condo. Okay, that looks nice. $46,800. Wait. Go back.
Y'all ain't
Am I
broke.
buying the entire complex? No, this is a condo. But luckily, for us, it has self-check-in. There's got to be better options. This one's cheap.
I asked more than 1,200 Americans aged 70 and older this question. What are the most important lessons you've learned over the course of your life?
Yeah, luckily. Yo, bro.
I see why. Get out of here. Let's try this. Oh, this is nice. How much is this per night? $8,000 per night. This is insane. The average home price in Indio for $1,000. Out of here. Let's try this. Oh, I see why. Get out of here. Let's try this. Oh, this is nice. How much is this per night? $8,000.
That looks
per night.
Familiar.
This is insane. The average home price in Indio for a 3-bedroom is about $500,000 according to Zillow. A little bit of math says that's about $3,500 per month, which is about $42,000 per year for the mortgage.
These folks.
Wait a minute. That is oddly familiar. You want me to pay your entire home mortgage for the year on 3 days this weekend? Honestly, f*** you. Now, I don't know how much an RV is, but something about charging $12,000 for an RV is wildly suspicious. Yeah, so I would say if you...
But people, y'all gotta... The crazy thing about it is, as crazy as we sit here and say, it's crazy to charge that, it's crazy. It's crazier to buy that. It is crazier to buy that because you can't charge something that people ain't buying. There's somebody buying. There's somebody saying, all right, this is my last 3. Oh, you need my zip code? Okay, here's a zip code. There's somebody going through the process. I just got money. Either that or folks is going into debt to watch somebody on stage for a weekend. I don't want to hear y'all ain't got money to invest. I don't want to hear none of that. You got money for this.
If you have about $60,000 to throw away this weekend, then you have a few options. But for everyone else, start looking at weekend 2. It's a lot more reasonable right now.
So as you can see, you gotta have some.
That shit must have been a damn promo. What you mean
One of the
weekend
biggest
2?
and most well-known music festivals in the world. What is Coachella? Here's a quick breakdown. Coachella is one of the biggest and most well-known music festivals in the world. It happens every April in Indio, California, or Palm Springs, and spans into 2 weekends with the same lineup both weekends. And it features a wide...
Hello?
They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. They wouldn't believe me. They wonder where I got a drip from. I told them it came from a bottle of Fiji. Rush the process.